Hi Flosstube, this is Sadie coming back. I believe this is my third Flosstube, and I got some updates on some work in progresses. Also have a few pins that I turn into needle minders to show you. Also got a bit of haul, and I think that's about it. So last week was pretty busy. I was out on vacation with family, went out to Mexico, so that was really fun. Got a little sick after, but yeah, that's what happens when you eat good food and drink good drinks. So we're all getting better from it. And then came back immediately to work. Today was a really busy day, so this is actually my way of decompressing today by doing a floss tube. So I've got 3 projects that I've been mainly working on. I'm happy I've gotten back to one of them. And then I did a new start. So 3 projects, 2 WIPs and a new start. I also got some haul, some floss, some fabric, some new charts that I'm excited to show you guys because I haven't ever worked with this designer. And then I think that'll be it. So we'll get to it. The first update that I have will be my Dark Queen of the Earth. And I got a lot of work done on her on the plane. Granted, during vacation, I got, 100 stitches in. I always have high hopes for when I go into vacation of doing a lot of stitching, but the reality is I barely get anything done. So I brought 2 projects, and I'm glad I got to do a decent amount of this one on the plane, and then I did a lot yesterday with her. So this is how she is looking. So what I worked on was that bottom flower, and then I'm starting to work down into the trunk of the tree, which is where her legs would be. So I'm really happy with how the progress of her is getting done. And I originally said my goal was to get her done by end of September, and I'd say I am easily within that goal. I can easily finish up the legs, I would say, in about a week, and then it'll be back stitching and beading. I think with the back stitching, I may change the color a bit in her arms because her tattoos show up, I believe, black. And I like for the tattoos to look as if they were carved into her skin, so I may just make it a darker shade of green. I think that'll look nice on her. So that is the Dark Queen of the Earth. And then my next one that I was really excited to have gotten some work done was on Sailor Mars. I knew that that was one that I really wanted to get to, and I finally did. Even though Ashley May's designs are really big with a lot of heavy stitching and a lot of half and quarter stitches, she has a lot of block stitching. So it's not really confetti, which I appreciate a lot from her because it could be a lot of almost mindless stitching just going back and forth, which I appreciate, especially on the car ride, sometimes bumpy, and at least I knew I wouldn't lose my spot because it was the same color line after line. So this is my progress on her. See if I can get a closer look. And I apologize for the light. I'm filming this at a different time. Normally I film it at nighttime, but this time it's more evening dusk. But I worked on the belt, so all that purple. And on the side where there's that grayish purple, that's her hair. So I'm really happy with how this is going. Mars took me 5 consecutive months to complete. So I think it may take me, if I do some good work, maybe a couple months to get Mars done. So I'm trying to have her out as much as I can before officially Halloween. Maybe even Christmas comes through and I would decide to try other WIPs or focus on some seasonal stitching. If I do seasonal, I think it's mainly Halloween, mainly some spooky stitching. But I want to continue with her as much as possible. So those were, I think my goal was to get Sailor Mars started and to work on Dark Queen of the Earth. So I'm really glad I got to do that. And while with that, I can show some of the pins that I turned into needle minders that I was really excited about. So these are 3 that if it's one of those, if you know, you know, they're really cool. Oh, this is Amortentia. This is one of the potions, and it moves from Harry Potter. So that's that one. The other one we've got is Polyjuice Potion. If it wants to focus. There you go. Same thing. Liquid moves. Whoop. And then the other one is the Felix Felicis, so the good luck one. Those were fun. I was a little nervous if when I sanded the back it was gonna somehow break the back and the fluid would come out, but it actually worked out great. Other one I did was one of Mamobot's pins. It was Virgo, because we are in the season of Virgo. So there she is. She turned out great. And then got that one that's on my new start. And the other one I did was from Asherbeeart. And she's done some great ones. She's done like some ghoulish girls eating snacks pins. She's done different mermaids of different aesthetics. Once I turn some of those pins into needle minders, I'll show them here. But the one that she brought out with her ghoulish girlfriends was a cat. Essentially a demon cat named Flambe. And it's really cool because it is color changeable. So right now it is black, but then if I hold it in the palm of my hand for a little bit, it turns white. So it's super cool, and I'm glad it turned into a needle minder, but I really wanted the ghouls more than the cat, so I'm gonna bring Flambe to the Queen City Stitch Retreat, and they have that needle minder exchange that people can do, so I will be happy to exchange him or her if you would like him. So there they are. Now they're white. Does it with heat. And then after a while they turn black. So those. And then the other one that's on the new start is a cute Cyclops girl. And she was created by Maidfetish. And Maidfetish has some really cool designs. She does a lot from some video games. Like Genshin Impact is one. Or Genshin Impact. She's also done with Arcane. I saw she just did one of the 7 Deadly Sins. I got all those pins because those were cool. And I got a few of her tattoo terrors. Last time I showed a spider. This time it's a cute Cyclops. And so this is her. And she's pretty big. So she's super cute. And then, might as well show, this is my new start. This one is C'est La Vie from Night Spirit Studio. I'll try to show a picture here online. It is a freebie of theirs. It's essentially a dumpster on fire. And then it says C'est La Vie on the top. They have both the English and French version. So the English version says That's Life. I'm doing the version with C'est La Vie in it. And I showed you last time that I was planning to do some gifts on kitchen towels, and I completed the one that's called Let's Get Trashed. I showed that one in my last video. And that was on the pewter from Zweigart that I was going to cut out as a band and then attach to the bottom of the kitchen towel. But when I saw the dimensions of this one and of the next one, it was going to be a really big band just taking up a lot of fabric that wouldn't look nice on a kitchen towel. It would just look too big. So So I knew that there was a way that you can cross stitch on other fabrics that don't have the cross stitching lines on it that you can easily follow, but somehow it was doable. So I looked on YouTube and I found a person that did a great job with a tutorial of how to use what she called waste canvas fabric. So I've got some here. I went to Joann's and I bought some. The options that they have there automatically are 10 count and 14 count. But essentially it's a really thick piece of like Aida fabric. So this is what it looks like in the package. Waste canvas, this by DMC. And then this is what the fabric is. I don't know if I would say it's like in between perforated paper and Aida fabric. Really stiff, but it's got all the holes of, this one's of a 14 count. And so what I saw in the tutorials is you cut out the design, the dimensions of the design that you want. You place it on top of the fabric that you would like for the design to be on. You'd cross stitch. So just like how I started, these are the beginning of the flames. And I've pinned this with needles. I haven't tried to stitch on it. I haven't tried to tape. I just put needles to hold it for now. And then once I'm done with the picture, the idea is that I would go, this is the tedious part, that I would remove each thread out one by one. They say ideally you would go after the lines where the blue lines are. Those are easier to pull out. And then go for the perpendicular lines. So with this one, I would pull out each vertical line one by one all the way through and then pull out the horizontal lines so that what's left is going to be the design on the fabric. So this is a kitchen towel. This is the black kitchen towel. And I measured out the fabric of where the design would be in, and I laid it out exactly where I would want it to be, in the middle, not too low, not too high. And then I just started. So far, it feels good. This is what the back looks like if you wanted to see. So far, I did as best as I can to make it flat, and it hasn't been hard to keep that up. It hasn't wanted to fold on me, bend on me. It's staying consistently flat. So it actually is going pretty smooth, the process of stitching from the waste canvas into the other canvas. One of the things that they said as an advice is to not stitch through the fabric. Just really try to stitch through the holes, because when you try to pull the threads out, it would be really hard to get that thread out if you've sewn through it. So far it hasn't been too bad with the 14 count, but that is my goal for this. So that was my new start. Those were really the projects that I focused on these past 2 weeks. I plan to continue working on Dark Queen of the Earth. I really want to finish her. And then working on Sailor Mars a bit more, and working on the C'est La Vie pattern. Probably next time I see you, I won't be finished with it, but I'm hopeful that I get all the fire and then I start on the dumpster. Those are my plans. For haul, it's going to be a mixture of a couple things, but I mentioned them earlier. So why don't we start with some of the floss. I got a few new pieces from Pirate Robin. I'm starting to become addicted to them, like the thread Gremlins. They love her fabric, or her threads, and I've started to like them too. I feel like they're pretty affordable compared to other ones. So I've got a whole stash of them. I'll probably show I have them all in this bag that was lovingly given by a colleague. And the new ones that I got were Sorbet. So I wanted an orange. So these were Sorbet. This one's Fog. Yep, this one's Fog. This one was really pretty. And then Tide Pool. So this one's more of a green. Variegated green going on. I decided to buy these because I feel like recently in the past couple weeks there's been a lot of sales and new patterns coming out online, and I've never done a owl forest embroidery pattern, and I want to say I bought 4, and I've seen their free patterns, but the ones that I've been really in love with were the toads in some sort of scene. So there's one pattern where it's 2 toads under a huge amanita mushroom as if they were at a bistro. The other one are 2 toads romantically together at a cinema but around some morel mushrooms. And I know that owl forest embroidery, they have their own threads, and a decent amount of the threads are variegated that they use on those patterns. But I wanted to be able to use, I didn't want to be able to just order those threads specifically for owl forest embroidery. I just haven't, I don't know if I'm intimidated. I don't know if I just haven't tried to look. But I knew that since I've been really into Pirate Robin right now, I could convert some of those colors towards Pirate Robin colors. So the green, the tide pool, I was thinking of using for the skin of the frogs because that was a variegated green. The orange, I believe, is used for some of the flowers. And I have a few other colors that I put together. So if I ever kit up one of those patterns, I'm hoping to, then I can show you the fabric that I want to use, and I can show you the threads that I specifically want to use as color conversions. So those were my floss, that's my floss haul. I will put them in with the rest of their friends. Let's see. The other one are actually 2 pins that I just got in the mail from Witches and Pins. It was part of her her Kickstarter. She made a Kickstarter of monster fantasy pins. And so I got, I forget the name, but essentially this one is a spider lady, and it is really big. I'll show you the comparison. This is it. So yes, she is eating a human. And I mean, compared to like the Virgo pin, she's huge. And then the other one is La Llorona. And I got the black and white version. She has another version that is where the marigolds are actually orange. They're the color of the marigolds. But I got the black and white version. So that is La Llorona. Yep. Very creepy, very beautiful. I enjoyed when they came in, so I plan to turn those into needle minders at some point. I'm really excited because I'm gonna visit home in Florida in about 3 weeks, and my dad and my brother, they both work with hardware tools, and I told them I would like to use your tools to be able to take the backing needle of the pins off and to sand them down. They make fun of me for my tools, but I don't do handyman work all the time. So they said, yeah, sure, you can come back and we can do that. So maybe I'll do a little bit of a video process of you seeing me work with carpentry tools just to remove the backings of the pins and to turn these pins into needle minders. My brother will think it's a joke, but I think he'll have fun with me too. The other part of my haul were my patterns. So the designer that I got these patterns of, all 4 of them are Lavendar and Lace. They are ones that I've seen later. I just saw them a couple years ago, but then find out that they've been going on since a long time ago, since the 90s. And I looked through them and I loved a few of them. I wrote them down in my phone, and then I looked on eBay to see what is going on there. And so when I went through, I believe the one that had me finally pull the trigger to buy Lavendar and Lace was Samantha, the Hygge stitcher, because she's talked a few times about the firefly fairies, And when she first showed that picture, I really fell in love. It reminded me of the 3 godmother fairies of Sleeping Beauty, that they look like that almost in what they would wear traditionally, the gold and the sparkle and the way that fabric shone as if it was like the North Star and Peter Pan, them going through it. I love the whole concept. So the fact that she started talking about how she wanted to prep for that project and she got the fabric from Oak Crown Studios, I thought, you know what? I would like to do this too. But I did buy the fabric. I don't have it yet. I got it from Fiberlicious Yummy Fibers with the similar concept of that starburst in the general center. So I will be super happy to show you what that would look like. And then I thought, well, I want to get the pattern. But as Samantha said, it's a discontinued pattern. So I just looked on eBay, I looked on Mercari, and it was kind of pricey. I did have to pay a decent amount for it, but I really, really wanted the pattern. So I got it, and I'm really excited to show it. So this one is it, and it's in its bag. So some of you have seen it, but I am so excited. I mean, I'm containing myself with how excited I am to start this. I just love how that center, they're just going into the middle of a portal that's probably taking them home to their fairyland. And their dresses are just so poofy. The colors. You hear people say it, and there are few times that I feel it, but this was one of those where the moment I saw it, you fell in love. You just go, yep, I have to do that. I have to do it. So this is one of those. So I am getting the fabric. Once I get the fabric, then I'll plan to kit it up. And it reminded me, which made sense, of a Mirabilia, where the way that it is processed, and it probably is processed by similar people, because I hear people say her mom worked for Lavendar and Lace, and so it would make sense that it looks similar to them. But I was surprised at how small the packaging is for Lavendar and Lace. I thought they'd be a little bigger. I'm trying to think. I have down here. Like, I have one of Mirabilia's here, and then I got Lavendar Lace here, and it's kind of small. So I was really surprised when I got it. I go, how is it holding so much potential in such a small? It's just like with Genie and Aladdin. I forget what he says. He's like, oh, this cosmic power. Itty bitty little piece. That's how I feel about this. So that's Firefly Fairies. And then the other 3 that I got. So this one's Peace Angel. I got that one. What I liked about this was the layers of fabric, the layers I feel like I see in the wings, and just the movement that it has this diamond shape. It's almost symmetrical, but there is asymmetry within the folds of the dress. It just all, it all made me want to have it and want to stitch it. I can see this being done on a wild fabric because she's mostly cream and white. So I feel like you can play around with the background a lot. So I liked her. I also got Fairy Dreams. That's this one. And this one, I enjoyed the pinks and the purples. Again, the movement of that. They had the front fabric around her. The beading looks like it'll be really cool. So I was really happy about getting this one. And then the last one was a little atypical in its packaging. They advertised it appropriately, and I decided why not. It is in your arms, or in the arms of an angel. But it came with warning that it is used. It's a used project. This is what it is. And this one, I love the scrapped quilted fabric look of the dress. just the flow of how she stands with her wings down, with the dress around her. So I thought that was really cool. The pattern is behind, and then it did come with the fabric that the person used to start the project. And it's a pretty stiff fabric. I want to say it's like a 16 Aida. I'll likely not use the Aida for this project. I'll use a linen or an even weave, but I can always save the fabric for something else, something a little smaller. So those were those projects. So I believe, let me see. Yeah, those were all the things that I had here that I wanted to show you for this update. I will likely hold off on making any needle minders until I come back from home, so probably about a month till you see any new ones. Planning to try to make a couple of project bags, so hopefully I can have a couple of those to show you, and then I'll have progress on my C'est La Vie design and progress, hopefully, I'm crossing fingers for a finish on Dark Queen of the Earth. And so I hope you guys are, if you're in the northern areas, I hope you're enjoying some of this chill that's come through, that it's starting to be in the high 40s, low 50s in the morning, and then it gets a bit sunny. Here it's been sunny in the afternoons, which I've been really happy about. Haven't gone to get a pumpkin spice latte yet. I tried the apple cider one, and I still prefer the pumpkin spice. I feel like if I do the apple cider, I'd rather have it as an actual cider and not as a latte. But I will still get the PSLs. So, learn that one. And then, don't think I have any other updates, but hope you guys enjoy your night and enjoy the rest of the week. See you later.